What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Observant Lineman. This is your Observant Lineman, Uche Nwaneri. And today, I have a very special guest, my brother from another mother, former Jacksonville Jaguar teammate, but always a teammate, Chicago Bears lineman, Jaguars lineman, and now co-host of Hotboxin with Mike Tyson, Eben Britton. Eben, what's going on, brother?
Oh my God, dude. It's so good to be here with you, bro. I'm
Awesome.
so stoked.
Nice,
I'm
nice,
so
man.
stoked.
Yeah, dude, it's been a while. You know, me and you have always been kind of had a good connection with each other just because of, football. You know, obviously you were in Jacksonville, I was in Jacksonville, but we were boys outside of that even. So
Yeah.
I've kept up with everything you've been doing. I've kept up with all of the musings that you give on social media and the motivational talk, as well as recently, just seeing you on Hotboxing with Mike Tyson. Dude, I was watching, this was literally in my first days as a YouTube content creator. I was watching, I was just going through, checking out other channels, checking out other content creators, and just seeing where, just trying to see where I could gain some inspiration. And then I come across Hotboxing with Mike Tyson, and on the thumbnail, I see you and Mike Tyson, and I'm like, hey, that's Eben.
How crazy.
I was like, holy shit. I was like, oh, hell no, I've got to reach out. I think I left a comment on that video, but I mean, I know you guys y'all had about 500,000 views on that video, so I know the chances you saw that comment were slim to none. But of course, I reached out to you on my cell, still had your number, reached out on social media, and we were able to connect. So
yeah, bro, I'm really stoked.
Tell me a little bit
on
about
the
what
comments
doing,
thing. On the comments thing, I try not to look at them because there's about 50% of those people are like, get this fucking white asshole off this podcast. I'm like, fuck all y'all.
Yeah, dude. I sat there and I watched an episode and I was just like, God, this is freaking awesome. This is fucking like, this is Evan sitting there with Mike Tyson and they're just smoking weed and talking shit. And it's like, hell yeah, dude. I was like, this is amazing. This is a great thing.
It's awesome, man. Well, I always really look Big Brother. And, yes, we had our connection in football, but I remember very fine memories of coming over and hanging out at your house, smoking some weed, shit. Because we're just so, when we're in football, I'm sure we'll get into this, but you're in this warrior mindset so much, that for me coming out of football, a lot of my life has been like finding out who the fuck I am.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I drowned it all out with football and constantly refusing to, let myself quit when my body over and over again was telling me like, I don't know if I could go back out there, taking the pills, taping it up, getting back out on the field for the practices and the games and all that shit. So, it's great to connect with you on here outside of that. And man, it's been a really crazy ride, I guess. So I left Jax after 4 years. My contract was up. That last year was the total shitstorm with malarkey.
Yeah, dude. I just did a video on that yesterday.
Oh my God.
A Cooler Talk video, a little Cooler Talk series that I started, and you've probably heard about the whole thing with Jalen Ramsey, and I kind of just laid it out for the audience, just a player's perspective, and and again, I don't necessarily agree with how Ramsey went about showing his displeasure, but at the same time, man, there was a part of me that could understand, and it really went straight back to that year with Mike Mularkey as our head coach, dude, and the damage it did to a lot of players with his coaching style and how he approached getting us ready for games, dude. And you know, and we talked about it when we were players. I think a lot of us were going through kind of a football withdrawal that season because I mean I had injured my knee and I played the whole season on it and I was depressed over it and you had your issues with the back and the shoulder.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could see it just as much as you could see it. You know, we were struggling over that.
Yeah, I know it's really interesting, man. How the paradigm shift in player consciousness over the last few years. Definitely since I've been out of the league. What was your last year?
My last
2015?
year was 2014.
14. That was my last year too, and I was just like, back when we played, it was wasn't it unheard of for guys to be requesting trades?
Yeah, dude, that's kind of
it was unheard of.
Yeah, that's a new thing. Like players are actively like plotting to get dealt to different teams and requesting to be traded. And I made a point to somebody in the comment section on one of my videos. Maurice Jones-Drew was a 3-time Pro Bowler, and he'd had his moment where he, had a bit of an outburst on the sideline after not getting the ball late in the game in the red zone. But Maurice, of all players, had probably the most justification in trying to get traded at that time.
Totally.
And he never did it. He never did it. He stayed on the team.
I know. And now, like, you see the fucking entire Miami Dolphins team requested a trade after game one.
After game one, dude.
And then Jalen Ramsey. And to be honest with you, like you said, I totally resonate with that. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that awakening.
Yeah.
That players are feeling
empowered,
confident and empowered to speak their truth. And I think it's interesting. It's also just very different from how things have been.
Yeah.
And I'm not, and maybe that started with these guys like, maybe it started with the receivers, the guys like Odell and Antonio Brown and these guys who were just like unafraid to just say, yeah, fuck it. I don't give a fuck, and are willing to risk being unliked, and are willing to risk being the villain and say, fuck it. I don't give a fuck because I just want to be happy and I want to be able to play the game that I love. And that's kind of cool. But for me, my last year was 2014. I came out of the league. I was demolished, physically and emotionally just fucking demolished. I couldn't play any more football. I fucking, had lost literally all my confidence in life, beyond the game.
Yeah, for sure.
I left Jacksonville after 4 years, and I loved that place. And I was like, I love to be here for, I would love to be the Brad Meester.
Yeah.
And be here for 10 years and have my name up on the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I believed in it in that way.
Yeah.
And it was really crushing. Like after those 4 years in Jacksonville, and I called Brad during that time. It was the off season, and I had some horrible meeting, the exit interviews with Mike Mularkey.
Oh my God, dude.
And that last year there, I had been benched like halfway through the year.
Yeah.
And they were starting Brewster, and no one would fucking just give me an answer. Why are you guys benching me?
Yeah.
There were like the Mike Mularkey big, tough guy talks in the team meeting. We're gonna find out who's real and who's not.
Who's tougher? Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna know who's tough. It's like, yeah, we were 2-14, bro.
Yeah,
your philosophy was really working.
Yeah, that year was a nightmare, dude.
It was awful. And, you know, so I really came out of that last season in Jacksonville and I was like, you know what, maybe I'm done. Maybe I'm done playing football. You know, I don't know, like, I hate to give somebody so much power, but at that time, being a young kid, really, I was still 25 years old, you know, and I had really lost my love of football. You know, I didn't know what I was doing there anymore.
Yeah.
And I talked to my dad, I talked to my mom, I talked to my wife, I talked to guys like Brad Meester. And the sentiment was like, you know what? It's okay if you want to be done. But if you have a little more juice in you, maybe you get a chance somewhere else and you find out you love it again.
Yeah.
You find your love for the game.
Yeah.
Or maybe you go somewhere else and you realize, yes, I'm done.
Yeah.